This video is part of a larger series where we go through and experiment with the different options that the New York Jets have this offseason. In this particular video, we're going to see what would happen if they don't stick with Sam Darnold and draft Justin Fields with the number 2 overall pick. Here we are at Super Bowl week. Robert Saleh is the new Jets head coach. I have set the offense and defensive playbooks to San Francisco on account of that's where he used to coach, and he's brought a lot of folks from that organization to New York with him. And I'll go ahead and advance this week and we'll see who Madden predicts will win this year's Super Bowl. Looks like it's the Chiefs over the Bucks, 28-24. So go put your predictions in now, folks. So week 1 of the offseason here, we're going to sign some free agents. And as you can see here, the team needs a lot of help. It's a lot of low 60 overalls, a lot of bronze backgrounds. We're going to need some help. Now, while we do have a lot of cap space, football teams aren't turned around in a single season. I don't want to go ahead and waste all that on veterans and free agency. We do have a lot of draft picks, and I think it's going to take a couple seasons to get in a more comfortable place with this team. And since in this video we are drafting Justin Fields, that means we're going to have to trade away Sam Darnold. Normally, the way I'd like to go about this is to add him to the trade block. However, I've tried this video a couple times before recording it, and it seems nobody wants to pick him up. So I'm just going to go ahead and try a manual trade, and we'll try and keep this realistic. There was talks months ago about the Steelers potentially trading for Sam Darnold, and I always thought that would be a good fit for him. I think Mike Tomlin could shape him into the quarterback we all expect him to be. However, in recent weeks, the Steelers have signed Dwayne Haskins to a futures deal. That being said, again, there will be more videos in this series where the Jets might draft Zach Wilson or Trey Lance. And I think in all of those, I'm going to end up trading Sam Darnold to a different team each time. So this time around, even though it doesn't seem super realistic, I'm just going to send him to the Steelers and see what we can get. And again, I'm trying to keep things super realistic. I'm not sure that any team will give up a first-round pick for Sam Darnold. The Jets already have 2 first-round picks. I don't want to get too greedy here in Madden. I think a second-round pick is still lucky for us, but not an overreach. So coming out of free agency, this is kind of an update of our team here. We're able to get ourselves a running back in Todd Gurley, even though I think we're still going to draft a franchise back. Made a small upgrade to our line here, picking up Andrew Wiley. On the defensive side, we were able to re-sign Marcus May. We were able to get a guy on a really, really cheap contract. And then I signed Patrick Peterson thinking he'd bring a much-needed leadership to the defensive back room. And we got Sheldon Rankins because now we're running a 4-3 rather than a 3-4. And so we needed more bodies down there on the defensive line. Also upgraded our outside linebackers. And we'll see what we're able to do in the draft, as well as sign other available free agents, because there were some guys I wasn't able to sign. Now, I mentioned before trying this franchise out before recording, and when I did, I momentarily became the owner of the Jaguars, so I can make sure that they took Trevor Lawrence with the first overall pick, because I'm trying to make this as realistic as possible. But when I did that, the game started glitching out, and I lost my franchise file. So I'm just going to hope and pray that Madden does the right thing here and picks up Trevor Lawrence with the first overall pick. And if they don't, we're still going to pick up Justin Fields because that's what this video is all about. So I'm going to advance the next pick, and we'll see what happens. And they get Trevor Lawrence. That's actually that's a huge relief. Great. So we're still keeping things realistic. We're going to make our selection, and like I said, we're going to pick up Justin Fields with the second overall pick. Here he is. Oh, that's an incredible combine. And it looks like they say that we reached, but he's a 75 overall hidden dev. And I think it'd be cool just to do a really quick Madden mock draft, see who everyone gets within the first round according to Madden. And we'll make this quick. Advance the next pick, and the Falcons get Penei Sewell. Dolphins get Kyle Pitts. Bengals with Micah Parsons. Looks like the Eagles pick up Jamar Chase. Lions go Devontae Smith. Rashad Bateman to the Panthers. Nixon to the Broncos. Cowboys get an outside linebacker. Giants get Jalen Waddle. 49ers get a safety. Patrick Surtain to the Vikings. Caleb Farley to the Chargers. Patriots get a left tackle. And again, we're not seeing any other quarterbacks get picked here yet. Gregory Rousseau to Arizona. Las Vegas gets an outside linebacker. Barmore to the Dolphins. And here we go. We got Zach Wilson to Washington football team. Wyatt Davis goes to the Bears. Elijah Moore to the Colts. Titans pick up Jalen Phillips. And here's our pick again. So we'll see who's available. I think with this pick, you kind of just got to get the best player available. And I know I said I want to get a running back, but I think we can wait until the second round here. We do have the second pick in the second round. So I'm pretty confident we can get one of those guys. That being said, I think maybe upgrading our offensive line would be the way to go here. Just, preparing for the future. And I think I'll do that with Rashawn Slater. If he, even drops this far. So Rashawn Slater is a 70 overall with a hidden dev. I'd say that's a pretty solid pickup. Okay, we'll go ahead and see who the Steelers pick. And they get Bolton, middle linebacker. Jaguars get a safety. Browns get a cornerback in Kendrick. Baltimore gets Sean Wade. Looks like the Saints get a defensive end there. The Bills with Zaven Collins. Packers get a defensive end. The Buccaneers find the replacement in Rob Gronkowski with this guy. And then finally, Trey Smith to the Chiefs. So there's still some really good quarterbacks available and, plenty of other players. We'll see who the Jaguars get with this first pick here. And they pick up Jabril Cox, which, like I predicted, we're able to get one of the running backs that we wanted to get. And it's really, I'm torn between Najee Harris and Travis Etienne here. But I think I'm just going to stick with Travis for this one. Okay, we got a running back of the future with Travis, 75 overall hidden dev. And we'll keep this quick. I'll just advance to our next user pick here. And this is the pick that we got from trading Sam Darnold, so let's make it a good one. Okay, somehow, some way, Terrence Marshall's still on the board here. And we do need help at the wide receiver side, especially since we weren't able to re-sign Brashad Perryman. Terrence Marshall could really help us out. And then I think in the third round, we're going to be able to get one of these solid cornerbacks. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get Terrence Marshall here. Terrence Marshall's 73 overall hidden dev. Great. Looks like Trey Lance and Mac Jones here in the third round are still available, which is crazy. And it looks like we could get Eric Stokes or Paulson Adebo. And I think we're going to go with Eric Stokes here. And that's 71 normal dev. All right. Our second pick in the third round. Let's see who's available for us. I'm genuinely surprised to see Alex Leatherwood still available. And I think we'd be fools not to pick him up and maybe move him to right tackle. Seeing Kadarius Toney still available in the fourth round, I think it'd be a mistake not to jump on it. So I went ahead and I did the rest of the draft. And again, here's a quick rundown. We got Justin Fields and Rashawn Slater in the first. In the second round, we got Travis and Terrace. Third round, we got a cornerback in Stokes and I think a steal with Leatherwood in the third round for left tackle. Another steal was finding Toney in the fourth round. Then here in the fifth round, I got another cornerback and tried to deepen the depth for our D tackles. I got a left end who I found to be kind of a steal in the sixth. And then in the seventh, there wasn't a lot of talent left, and our team really needed a fullback, so I went ahead and picked up this guy. Okay, so here's our team as it stands now. I went ahead and I saw that Marquise Goodwin was in free agency. I think he's really fast, and that helps in this game, so I went ahead and swooped him up. As you can see, our two rookie wide receivers are pretty low on the depth chart here, but they're going to get snaps in preseason, and hopefully that'll boost some overall points, and then I'll make sure I reorganize the depth chart and get them more playing time during the season, because I'd like to see them grow and develop. Leatherwood is now our right tackle, and Slater is a backup here behind Lewis, but similar to what I said about our wide receivers, he'll get more snaps in preseason, and that should help boost his overall. Over here on defense, not any noticeable updates. We've got Stokes back here. There's our defensive tackle that we drafted. And, you know, there he is. There's another end that we picked up. I don't know. I feel good about the squad. There's a lot more silver than we saw before. C.J. Mosley's back, which is exciting. And I was a big fan of Ashton Davis coming into last year's draft, so I'm excited that he's going to be starting this season. I think we can make a star out of him as well. And then I picked up the best kicker that was available. It was Zane Gonzalez, and he's relatively young, so maybe we can re-sign him in the offseason, keep him here a little longer. But like the title of this video leads you to believe, this is all about building the team around our new quarterback, Justin Fields. I'm going to play this first preseason game. I usually like to play the first one just to get a feel for the team heading into the season. And we'll probably simulate the rest. But I want to see these guys in action, the new squad in action. Okay, first drive of the game here. Again, Justin Fields at the helm for the Jets. We'll snap it off to our new running back, Todd Gurley. And I'm noticing now, I think we're going to have to change his number. Let's run it again. This time I want to see Etienne take the ball. This is a young, high-powered offense. All right, let's try passing it a little bit. Pretty nice grab. Nice catch from Travis. It's a pretty great opening drive. I know it's preseason, but I'm really liking the way the team feels. And I waited too long, so let's try running it for the first time. Pretty quick. I'm going to go for it here because I want to see a touchdown. Again, it's just preseason. Boom. That was a great opening drive for Justin Fields. 100% passing. Third down alert. I'll just jump in here. I want to see our new wide receivers in action. James Morgan at the helm. There's Terrence Marshall. Terrence Marshall touchdown! So big time Jets win here in the first week of preseason. We'll check out the stats. Yeah, Justin Fields was 6 for 6, 64 yards, a touchdown, 150.7 passer rating. James Morgan did pretty good for himself as well. Travis had about over 50 yards and a touchdown, which is cool. Terrence Marshall went off almost 100 yards. So I'd say this is cool. This is a cool team. They felt good. I'm kind of wary to say we might be playoff caliber because our division is so tough, but it seemed promising. And no offense to James Morgan here, but I'm going to see if we can find a veteran quarterback to add to the quarterback room. Just because we have so much cap space, we have over $60 million still available. It'd just be worth Justin Fields to, learn from somebody's experiences. And I think we might just re-sign Joe Flacco for that exact reason, because I'm not seeing anybody else with the quote-unquote star power. Case Keenum, I guess he's been around the block once or twice. Andy Dalton just seems a little too expensive. Yeah, we'll bring Joe Flacco back. And I misspoke. It looks like our cap room's just hovering around the 50 million area. All right, so here we are coming out of preseason, heading into week 1. This is our new adjusted lineup. Our rookie offensive linemen are starting, and we've got Etienne behind Todd Gurley, but that's okay because he's starting as our third down back, so he'll get snaps. We move Berrios all the way to the bottom of the depth chart because I want Terrence Marshall and Tony to get snaps before he does. And this is what our defense looks like. We might need help with our cornerbacks here, but rather than look into free agency, that's something we can try and improve this next offseason. So believe it or not, our week 1 matchup is against the Jaguars, aka Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence versus Justin Fields. Now, what I really wanted to do is simulate most of these seasons just to quickly see Fields' impact on the organization. But I'm going to have to play the moments on this first career game because it'll be pretty entertaining. So let's go in and check it out. So Justin Fields is starting week 1. Not sure if that would happen in real life, but we're just going to have fun with this, and we'll see what he's able to do on this first opening drive. It's a third down, and I guess they kick the field goal. Some points better than no points. We got the ball again, another third down, and another field goal. Just need to hold the Jaguars. Don't want them to score a touchdown here. And we get the ball back, third down, and now we're in the red zone. And what do we do about it? We kick a field goal. Okay. But it's a 2-minute drill. See if we can capitalize. Fourth down alert. Another field goal. I guess Zane Gonzalez is really putting the work in for us. Oh, what was that? A touchdown, perhaps? A rushing touchdown? Can we get a passing touchdown? Oh, wow. This is actually pretty impressive. I mean, maybe the Jags needed to improve more than just get Trevor Lawrence here, but we're putting up pretty decent amount of points here. Red zone alert? Let's take it. Just for funsies. Up the middle with Todd Gurley. And I forgot to change his number. I'm going to do that right when we get out of here. I forgot to change his number. That's my bad. Ooh, this O-line is pretty good, huh? Todd Gurley's only got 200 rushing yards this game. Are you kidding? And Justin Fields, touchdown. Garbage time, but touchdown nonetheless. Got to get those stats up. So not only did we win, but we won pretty big. Justin Fields, that's a decent game for a debut. No turnovers, which I like to see. And I guess that touchdown that I threw in garbage time was his only touchdown. So I guess, we really we relied heavily on the run here, I guess. Trevor Lawrence, a similar game, but he did have a turnover that brought his quarterback rating down quite a bit. He threw it 44 times. But here's our rushing stats. Todd Gurley averaged 6.5 yards a carry and nearly reached 200 yards. However, he did try and run it 30 times. I don't know why we relied on him so much. But Travis got in there quite a bit, and we'd like to see... he got a touchdown too. That's great. Well, so that's a pretty solid pickup then, draft-wise. So yeah, like I said, that was a big week 1 win for us. However, I'm nervous that this Justin Fields franchise is going to turn into a Todd Gurley revenge franchise. So hopefully we run it a bit more. There we go. We are in week 2, facing another 1-0 team in the Falcons. And let's see how Justin Fields does. We come out with a loss, a pretty significant one. It looks like 38-13. However, Patrick Peterson is a defensive player of the week. That didn't seem to help us very much. And 2 new injuries. Cool. So it looks like Justin Fields threw 4 interceptions, throwing only 1 touchdown. Again. You don't like to see that at all. Oh, and look at that. We're facing the other running back of the draft that we were about to get. He had a pretty okay game. Todd Gurley was absolutely shut down. Only 8 running attempts that resulted in 33 yards. Travis averaging 1.2 yards a carry. Jeez Louise. So that's a concerning loss. And we don't know now if week 1 was a fluke or if this loss was a fluke. Whatever the case, this week 3 matchup against our division rival Bills is going to be a tough one. However, they do look like they're 0-2. I don't know what that means. Let's see how we do. In another loss, gave up over 30 points again. Justin Fields had a better game. No turnovers, which is good, and 2 passing touchdowns. So I guess that's promising. I guess it means our defense isn't doing what they're supposed to be doing. Yeah, Todd Gurley's definitely slowed down here. Justin Fields running the ball a little bit. Obviously, we don't want to lose any games here, but a divisional loss like that against the Bills definitely does not help us. So let's see if we could turn things around before the bye and see how we stack up against the Houston Texans. Another loss where we give up more than 30 points. Justin Fields threw for nearly 400 yards with 3 touchdowns. However, he did have 2 interceptions. I guess Phillip Rivers was in. Rushing game was, fine. Here we are at week 6. We've only won 1 game. And rather than sim to midseason, I'm just going to sim to the playoffs. We'll recap and see what worked this first season and what didn't work this first season. And we'll go from there. So here we are at the end of our season. We didn't make the playoffs, unfortunately, and it wasn't looking like it those first couple of games. However, 7-9 is quite an improvement compared to, only having 2 wins the year prior. We came in second place of the division, which is kind of crazy. Dolphins barely squeaked in the playoffs with 8-8. So this is actually, we're doing a lot better than expected already. Here's Justin Fields' rookie season. That's a lot of interceptions. But he almost threw for 4,000 yards, which is cool. And I guess this really was running back by committee. These 2 guys combined eclipsed 1,200 yards, which is cool. And Travis had 9 rushing touchdowns. Receiving, Jamison Crowder's always good in Madden for some reason. Not to say he isn't good in real life. It's just Madden, it really, every year he's winning wide receiver of the year. But Marshall got in the mix quite a bit, which is cool. Ooh, Travis had also 3 receiving touchdowns. Looks like it's a Browns-Rams Super Bowl. And we'll look at the yearly awards here. Patrick Mahomes MVP. Robert Saleh does not show up for Coach of the Year. Offensive Player of the Year goes to Lamar Jackson. I don't see any Jets players on there. Offensive Rookie. Ooh, that stings. Trevor Lawrence wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. And Justin Fields is right behind him, followed by Travis. Oh, jeez, to come so close. Best quarterback is Lamar Jackson. And I don't see Justin on there. And like I said, Jamison's always up there for best wide receiver. Yeah, so it didn't look like any Jets players took home any yearly awards. But 7-9, it's promising is what I'll say. Now, you don't want that to be consistent. You don't want to always be 7-9. It'd be cool to crack 500. It'd be cool to make the playoffs. But we'll see what work we could put in this offseason to bring this team to the next level. I think drafting Justin Fields and reshaping our offense was a really good start. So I'll just run you through who we drafted this year. We got Derek Stingley Jr. at corner with our 12th pick overall. And he's 77 with hidden development. Definitely going to help us out. And yes, he was wearing number 24, but hey, I checked. Revis's number is not retired. If you want to complain about it, you diehard Jets fans, go ahead and leave some comments down there. He's wearing 24 in college, and if he's the savior that we expect him to be, let him wear it. Next, we had a second first-round pick, and at 27, we took Tyler Davis out of Clemson, and he's a 71 hidden dev. So he'll be playing as our second D tackle on our 4-3 defense here. We're going all defense here these first 3 rounds because in the second round we got Christian Harris at middle linebacker. Just going to support CJ Mosley, but I wasn't expecting him to be a hidden dev, which is exciting. So 73 overall hidden dev. And then I was also, we talk about surprising, Tyreek Stevenson was just sitting there in the third. And I thought this would be a steal, but he only seems to be normal dev, 70 overall. But hey, I think we're set at corner now, at least for the time being. We've got a pretty bright future ahead of us in that department. I went on and I got a wide receiver. I was expecting him to be a speedster, 93, 92. Speed acceleration definitely isn't bad. I think I was expecting a little more. Got some depth at outside linebacker. I got us a power back, and I just saw this guard, Spencer Smith. Thought he was going to be worth picking up. Especially wouldn't be a bad backup to our line there. So heading into week 1 of Justin Fields' second year in the league here with the New York Jets, this is what our offensive lineup looks like. Justin Fields turned out to be star development. Travis ended up being superstar development, and that's why I kind of bumped him up in front of Gurley on the depth chart. We still got Crowder. Marshall is star development, and Slater ended up being star development as well. Here on defense, you'll see a lot of the moves we made in the draft. There's our first round D tackle and our first round corner. And you're probably noticing I picked up Minkah Fitzpatrick in free agency. Wasn't someone I was truly going after, but no one was offering Minkah a contract. So I totally lowballed him. So yeah, we've got Minkah. I'll share this other story from free agency. Davante Adams, 99 overall X Factor, was in free agency, and nobody was offering him a contract, right? And so the whole, week after week in free agency, I'm like, I'm not going to give him, that's just too greedy for me to get Minkah and Davante on such a cheap deals. Again, I'm trying to keep this relatively realistic. And so we go all the way to the end of free agency, and nobody signed him. So I figure, okay, after the draft, I'm going to go see if he's available in free agency. And of course he's not, because Madden does this thing where everybody gets dibs before you for some reason right after the draft. So I go through, and it looks like the Packers picked him back up, but look at his contract. They only got him for one deal because they picked him up free agency, but only $740K in a single year for a 99 overall X Factor. So I think that's just more of bringing this kind of crap to Madden's attention of how does nobody want Minkah, superstar? How does nobody want Davante Adams, 99 overall X Factor? That, it doesn't make any sense. But anyway, year 2 for Justin Fields here. We were 7-9 last season, and we're gonna skip to mid-season and check in on the guys here. Hopefully we can at least crack 500 this year. Okay, midway point here, and we're 2-5, and I guess some of our players are frustrated, as am I. Justin Fields is not doing very good. At this point in the season, it said he was 31st in passing yards and 31st in passing touchdowns. And he's got just as many touchdowns as he does interceptions, which is never a good sign, especially with that many. Rushing here, somehow Todd Gurley has 5 tutties and Travis only has 1. I'm not quite sure, what's really going wrong here. There's nobody on the injury report. We're an 81 overall team. I expected more, but hey, we were looking down and out of it at this point last year, and we ended up getting 7 wins. So we'll just sim to the playoffs and see how Justin Fields and the Jets are able to finish the season. Well, we reached 8-8. We hit 500. I guess my prayers were answered. It sucks that the Bills were also 8-8, but they won the division. That really stings. And the reason it stings is because we didn't make the playoffs and they did. Justin Fields definitely turned things around the second half of the year. Remember at the midway point he had 8 interceptions, and it seems since then he's only thrown 3 more. So it looks like he got that under control. 29 passing touchdowns, 3,500 passing yards. I guess James Morgan got in for a game and was able to snag a TD. Rushing seemed like to be more of a team effort than one person. I don't know. Todd Gurley was our starting power back, but Travis was starting everything else, and I guess maybe these were all like 1-2 yard touchdowns. Maybe not. I don't know. But Todd Gurley's been really putting in the work for us, really outshining Travis, at least this year. Justin Fields ran it a bit. He was able to snag a rushing touchdown. Our rookie power back got a touchdown. Our fullback got a touchdown. Receiving wise, Crowder was able to eclipse 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. Well, that's a little bizarre. Looks like Super Bowl 57 is the Chiefs Buccaneers. Deja vu, am I right? Curious who the Buccaneers quarterback is. Tom Brady still at 45. Wow. So Madden, I didn't expect Madden to make him retire already, but 45, which if you're close to the Tom Brady, folklore, he's mentioned before he'd play up until 45. That's been the magic number. So I'm surprised they didn't force him to retire in this game, and then he's still going. So I guess we'll see a rematch here. And according to this game, the Chiefs won the Super Bowl the last time they played in it. So we'll see how that goes. But before we do, we'll check in on the yearly awards. Freaking Tannehill MVP? You gotta be kidding me. Robert Saleh not on the Coach of the Year list. Defensive rookie, Stingley came in second. Man, we keep getting snubbed. Best quarterback, Tannehill. We're going to have to look up his stats. Like, what could he have done? Patrick Peterson won Best DB, and we actually re-signed him to a couple years just because he's been playing. He's been playing good, so why not? Tannehill had over 4,500 yards, 38 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. It's pretty, yeah, I guess that's good. Yeah, he beat out everybody in every category. Freaking 35 years old, superstar. Give it to him. Looks like the Chiefs won again, 23-20. Both close games. Wow. Maybe Tom Brady retired? And he did. Wow. Okay, after 23 years. Okay, pretty cool. I'll just do a quick recap from this past offseason's draft. In the first round, we went with defensive tackle Brian Breesy. 76 hidden dev. And that's just, adding more young guys to our defensive line, which is going to require a lot of bodies. Again, we're running 4-3. In the second, I know I mentioned that our cornerbacks are looking good, but I saw that Tate was available. He looked like a good pickup there, and it ended up working out because he's 73 overall hidden dev. After that, I got Kendrick Bingley-Jones at left end, again adding more depth to that defensive line, and he ended up being a 69 overall hidden dev. And then I picked up a pair of middle linebackers, followed by, Eubanks is going to end up being our third string tight end, and another right end. So heading into year 3 here, our team overall is 84, our offense overall is 84, and our defense overall is 84. You might be wondering why I didn't make too many moves relating to offense in our last draft, and that's because if you remember our story from last season, nobody wanted to offer Devontae Adams a contract in the offseason, and then he just went back to Green Bay, and he went unsigned again. He entered free agency again, and nobody wanted him again. So I lowballed him, and he accepted the offer. I figured this was the kick in the butt that this offense is needed, an X-Factor 99 overall wide receiver to go alongside Jamison Crowder and Marshall down there. No excuses this year, Justin Fields. I gave you a solid wide receiver group. It looks like we had a bit of a dev trait regression here for Gurley and Travis, but our O-line is solid. And, superstar 90 overall Mekhi Becton should help lead the way for what they are set to accomplish this year. Another free agent pickup was Zach Ertz. Nobody wanted him, lowballed him, and now he's a solid backup here for Herndon. I know some of you might be saying start Zach Ertz. He's star, same overall, but if you've been paying closely attention to the stats, Herndon's been productive. He's been really productive. So this is just backup support, much like our third string Eubanks that we picked up in the draft. On the defensive side, Mekhi Becton got injured in the preseason. He's only going to be out 4 more weeks. So having Ashton Davis start as his replacement is not bad at all. Another free agency pickup was Von Miller. Again, nobody wanted him, and I figured our linebackers needed that, little extra oomph, so we threw him in there. I moved Chris Harris. He was originally a middle linebacker. I moved him to outside linebacker just for more depth. I'm going to start him. I'm going to start him over you, Beckham. Still got Marcus May up there. And here's a development for you. It turns out Derek Stingley was an X factor. So he's starting over there. And we've got Austin and Hall. And Peterson kind of went down the ranks here overall wise, but he's still star. And down there at the hidden dev at 73 is Tate that we picked up in the draft. Breesy, who we picked up in the draft, he's going to be co-starting alongside Rankins here. And I know we've got Davis, back up with star dev, but Rankins is aging, and he's definitely going to get snaps in. So I think we have a solid group here. And also, I guess, Bingley Jones all the way down there. We'll swap this out so we can get a little more some more snaps. But basically, a young D-line who's ready to progress. We went 8-8 last season, and the last 2 seasons, teams who went 8-8 in our division made it to the playoffs. I can't imagine for 3 straight years our division is going to be that lax. I was expecting a lot more competition. So hopefully with the improvements we made this offseason and Justin Fields just, finally getting into an NFL groove here in his 3rd year, we should be able to make the postseason or at least remain pretty competitive. So let's see if we could break 500 at the very least. And we'll sit to the mid-season, see how we do. Folks, we are 5-2. How about them apples, huh? 5-2, leading the division's close compared to the Dolphins at least, and the Bills could catch up, but holy smokes, 5-2. Loss to the Cowboys, which that's given a 40 is pretty substantial, and a loss to the Dolphins, which is not good. Division rivals, that is not good. Only 3 field goals, it looks like. Justin Fields is still putting up man numbers. Repeat of his 8 interceptions at last midseason. Same with these two. At least they're kind of sharing the touchdown amount. Devontae is not really producing with only 1 touchdown. Terrace going off here, I guess. But this is weird. It's weird, but we're 5-2, and the last couple seasons, the Jets found a way. Justin Fields himself really find ways to turn things around and really get the ball going. So let's see if we can do that again and make the playoffs this year. Holy smokes! Not only did the Jets win the division, but they only lost 1 more game the rest of the season. 13-3. When was the last time the Jets ever went 13-3? Okay, the closest the Jets ever came to 13-3 was in 1998 when they went 12-4. Never has a Jets team had 13 wins in a single season. Justin Fields has 4,000 passing yards and 32 passing touchdowns. The interceptions, that doesn't help, but it doesn't matter because his team made the playoffs and they won the division 13-3. These 2 guys, they're really a tag team, huh? But man, 10 rushing touchdowns. Combined, it's 16 rushing touchdowns. Actually, you want to look at everybody here. Knox got 4 touchdowns. Justin Fields ran it in for a touchdown. And our fullback got another touchdown this year. So that adds it up to 6 plus 6 is 12. 24 rushing touchdowns this season by the whole team. Yeah, and here, I guess Devontae kind of turned it around. 1,200 receiving yards with 6 touchdowns. Crowder also got 6 touchdowns. Herndon with 5 touchdowns. Marshall with 8. So Justin Fields really kind of spread the ball around here, which is what you like to see. Von Miller? Oh my God. How old is this dude? Von Miller in this game right now is 34 years old. He had 15.5 sacks. Quinnen Williams with 14.5 sacks. Ashton Davis really went off. He's our backup full safety with 102 tackles, led the team. He had 5 interceptions. along with Derek Stingley. Derek Stingley had 5 interceptions. Look at everybody got an interception. So, I mean, Justin Fields is helping, but we really turned this team around. This is a powerhouse team here. A juggernaut, if you will. And we have a first-round bye. We led the conference. We not only had the best record in the AFC, we had the best record in the entire league. I'd also like to just comment here. Now, I'm not gonna pick up Myles Gaskin, but we look at our cap room. We're still around the $40 million area in cap. So, I mean, not to toot my own horn here, but I think I know how to turn a team around, huh? So it looks like heading into the divisional round, starting left guard Rashawn Slater is injured, as well as starting running back Travis is injured. But if we make it through this week, they'll both be back for the conference championship. And for this game, it looks like we're playing the 9-7 Browns, which seems like we should be able to handle it, but Madden always makes the Browns ridiculously good, even when they are 9-7. That being said, I got an injury report before this game saying that Myles Garrett was going to be out. So hopefully we can use that to our advantage, and we're going to play the moments here. Okay, here we are, divisional round of the playoffs. We let them score first, but it's red zone alert, and we tie it back up. What did we do here? Browns score again, but we're back in the red zone, and we're keeping it toe-to-toe here. And we got a 2-minute drill. We got the ball. Nope, we turned it over immediately. They score a touchdown, 2-minute drill. Let's see if we can tie it up. Let's see if we can do something. Field goal's better than nothing because we get the ball back. And another field goal, so now we're down by 1 point, which is going to come back to hurt us. I know it. 28-20. It's the fourth quarter, and oh my God, we're going to give up another touchdown. There's no way. We got to hop in here. Oh, this is frustrating. 2 touchdowns and a two-point conversion is what we need. And yes, I'm wearing the classic jerseys just because I wanted to see what these guys would look like in them. And I got to be honest, I miss these. Running up the middle with Gurley. Okay, touchdown Devontae Adams. See if we can hold him here. And we do. All right, a little less than 2 minutes left on our own 35-yard line. We need a score and a 2-point conversion. Let's see what we're able to do here. Oh my God, there's no way. There's like no way. Oh my God. Oh my. I can't believe that. Should I have just simulated it? I don't know. I don't know what they were going to do to me. This freaking game. Oh my goodness gracious. I mean, Justin, he had 2 picks before I threw that last one. And who the hell is this guy? Oh man, it just, to go freaking 13-3, the best record in the league, and to lose in the first. I mean, this was a close game the whole time. And again, the Browns were 9-7, but they didn't play like a 9-7 team. They played like they were a 13-3 team like us. It freaking sucks to do so well the whole season and get out the first game of the playoffs you play. It freaking sucks. But it's a good team. We're retaining a lot. Most of, if not all of the players that made a difference this season. So, we can only, I can't even say we can only go up from here. We went 13-3. Hopefully we remain consistent, I guess is what I'm trying to say, heading into year 4 for Justin Fields, he needs to better his game. The freaking Browns made it all the way to the freaking Super Bowl because the Browns are good for no reason in this game. Playing the Saints. I mean, who do we root for? Do we root for the Browns and then we can say that we lost to the Super Bowl winning team? Or do we hope that they have the worst beating of their life? Do we hope that the Saints put 50 on them in the Super Bowl? I don't know. It's up for you to decide. Yearly awards. I guess Jameis Winston won MVP with the Cowboys. I hate this game. Coach of the Year is Robert Saleh. I think really Madden really just gives Coach of the Year to the team with the best record, which, whatever. I'm not seeing Justin Fields on any of these lists. He's number 7 for best quarterback. Devontae Adams 4th for best wide receiver. Mekhi Becton came in 2nd for best offensive line. Von Miller 2nd for linebacker. I mean, I don't know what to say. Like, what more could we have done? I'll tell you, Justin Fields could have thrown less interceptions. And I'm still, here's me talking. I'm the one who threw the last pick in that game. I don't know why I didn't let it simulate. I guess because I didn't trust the AI because they were going to screw us and we didn't deserve to be screwed because we were 13-3. Best season in Jets history. But what are you going to do? For those who care, the Browns won 35-28. Whatever, dude. Heading into year 4, I was curious just to see how Sam Darnold was doing. Looks like he's 77 overall, backup to Baker Mayfield, who's 92, superstar, I guess. But yeah, here's Sam. I guess his career didn't really turn around the way we'd hoped for him. Yeah, he hasn't even been playing. So that's a shame. That's really a shame. Okay, here's a recap of the draft heading into our 4th season here. Not a really exciting one. I noticed that CJ Mosley was starting to regress rapidly, so I was expecting in the first round to find a replacement middle linebacker in Deontay Lawson, and I was really disappointed to see that he was only 71 normal dev. That actually puts him at 3rd string in our current lineup. Following that, there weren't a lot of holes to fill with this team. I saw a pretty high-rated right tackle available in the 2nd round, and we got him. He's 70 overall, hidden dev, which in draft classes it's hard to find a high-rated offensive line, let alone a one with a hidden trait. So he might be able to replace Alex Leatherwood before we have to start paying him big bucks, because Alex Leatherwood, he's normal dev. After that, it was kind of the same situation when it came to this center here, and I was pleasantly surprised to see that he was hidden dev. And I saw another middle linebacker on the board, rated pretty high, and I figured maybe he can be the replacement. And he came in at 68 with a normal dev. I saw Marvin Harrison's son available, and I saw that he had speed, which he does, 95 speed, 93 acceleration, and he's a 69 overall normal dev. And again, just depth here when it came to this left tackle and another wide receiver. Okay, year 4, coming off of Robert Saleh being coach of the year and the Jets having the best season in franchise history. We're 85 across the board. Here's what our offense looks like this year. Pretty similar to last year, not a lot of changes. Here's Fields, star dev, 86 overall. Signed him to a 5th-year option just so we can see what else he's got. Only kind of big free agency acquirement for the offense was Ryan Tannehill. I just saw that he was available. Figured we get a veteran in the quarterback room, seeing as he won the MVP not too long ago. Maybe he can teach this guy, give him some tips on what he can freaking do. Defensive side, superstar, 92. Superstar, 81. Got X Factor over here. He's still superstar, 97. This middle linebacker hole is really bugging me. There weren't a lot of great free agents this year, especially when it came to linebackers. So that's why I kind of relied on the draft, which, by the way, we didn't have the best pick in the world because we made it. We had the 1st round bye. We were the best team in the league. So we'll see how this does. There's not a lot of things we can do at this point. But, virtually, we're working with pretty much the same team as last year here. There's no excuses. 13-3, let's freaking win the division again. At least make the playoffs. At the very least, let's make the playoffs. Okay, midpoint at year 4, and it looks like we're 4-3. And we're 2nd place in the division, technically tied, really. This really could be anybody's, so we just have to stay consistent and start winning more games. Justin Fields is having one of his better seasons, probably his best, at least, that we've seen at this midway point. 15 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions, already at 2,000 yards. Like, if he keeps this up, he can hit 4,000 again and maybe pass 30 passing touchdowns again. This rushing kind of duo, I mean, I know they've been splitting carries, and I think they get hurt a lot, and that's something we're not seeing. But I don't know if Travis is worth re-signing when I can just, it seems like in these drafts, running backs are easy to come by, especially high overall rated ones. So he's going to have to really do something big the second half of the season if he wants to stick around. Receiving end of things, we don't see Crowder on here. It's because he was hurt all first half of the season. He was out 7 games. But, Herndon, it's his contract year too, and it's like, how do I say I don't want to re-sign him? He's been producing nonstop. This bothers me. The fact that Davante Adams has 0 touchdowns. Maybe he was hurt too? Probably not, because he's got this only 2 receptions less than Terrence Marshall, and he's got 4 touchdowns. Tony with 2. Still plenty of football left, and you've seen it before. The Jets have done, at least this Jets team, has done incredible things the second half of the season. So let's see how it all shakes out. The Jets have done it again. I didn't want to jinx it. I didn't want to joke around and say at 4-3 we'd have to stay undefeated to replicate what we did last year, but that they actually did it. 13-3. Again, this is the same team we're working with. This is the same team. So on paper, you should have expected nothing less. This is an incredible season for Justin Fields, probably a career high for him. Probably the career best, nearly 4,500 passing yards, 34 touchdowns with only 9 interceptions. And, you know what? I said he needed to do something big, and this is astronomical. He passed 1,000 yards, which is good, but 14 rushing touchdowns, along with Todd Gurley's 8. On the receiving end of things, Davante turned things around. He passed 1,000 yards. How do I not re-sign Herndon? 15 receiving touchdowns. And CJ Mosley, you got to give it to the guy. Led the team in tackles, even though he's down to 72 normal dev. The overall, sometimes, it's just a number. It's just a number. Von Miller still with double-digit sacks, and he's asking for another year on the contract. If we've got the money, I don't see why not. And the interceptions are down from last year, but these are still great numbers. These are still great numbers for these guys. And here we are with a second year in a row, first round bye, number 1 seed. And these freaking Browns, I swear to God, if we go up against the Browns again, we better pummel them. Yeah, look at us. Top of the league again, standings-wise. Looks like we're playing the Bengals, who are 12-4. Yeah, the Browns are out. I'm sure this will be a tough game, but this team should be able to handle it. They went undefeated the second half of the year. Let's hop in and play the moment, see how we do. Okay, here we go. Divisional round matchup. Bengals get the ball first, and they score. We have the ball. We are going to kick a field goal. Okay, we got to hold them here, guys, and we don't. We let them score again, and we have the ball, and we kick another field goal. Not ideal here. Oh, we're just... Every single time they have the ball, they score a touchdown. Can we capitalize here? Okay, 13-21, 4th down alert. We have the ball again. Come on, field goal? Are you kidding? Hold them, please. Hold them. We don't hold them. Oh, mamma mia. 2 touchdowns. Let's get it. Justin Fields, run it. Oh, thank God. Oh, that's a touchdown. Whoa. Okay, we get the ball again. Red zone alert. We'll let the sim do it. 29. And we get the ball again. Let's just run out this clock. Oh, we're in the red zone. Ooh. Fullback. Touchdown. I have no idea what happened there. The sim just took over, and I guess Joe Burrow on 4th down scored 8 points or whatever. And then they turned the ball over and they gave it back to him for a field. It's heartbreaking. How does Justin Fields have no touchdowns? How? 2 years in a row, we're the best team in the league, and we lose immediately in the playoffs. Chiefs Niners Super Bowl MVP went to this guy. Justin Fields hit 10th. Robert Saleh Coach of the Year 2 years in a row. 7th for Offensive Player of the Year. 5th for Best Quarterback. Etienne came at 3rd. Becton 2nd for Best O-Line. Stingley 2nd for Best DB. If you can't tell from the timbre of my voice, I'm really disappointed here. Alright, just a quick recap of our final draft here. With our first round pick, I again was looking for the middle linebacker of the future here. Not a lot of options in free agency. And what I found with the 28th overall pick was a 71 overall hidden dev in Kobe McKenzie. Second round, I saw Gould was available, cornerback. He's 71 hidden dev as well. And we got a full safety here. He's normal dev, and I'll explain why we picked this guy when we look at our final roster for the coming season. And, just depth here with the rest of these guys. And, this team, again, how many years in a row are we going to go 13-3? This is a really well-rounded team. I started running out of, positions to draft. With the 7th round, I ended up going with getting a QB just because I like having 3 guys in the quarterback room. Figured we'd give this kid from Georgia Tech a shot, and we'll go from there. All right, so let's take a look at our official roster heading into year 5 for Justin Fields. 85s across the board. Here's what our offense looks like. This right tackle that we drafted is really growing into his position. Star Dev with a 75. Sean Slater's at an 82. Mekhi Becton absolutely crushing it. Devontae Adams is beginning to regress just a little bit. He still is X Factor. We see Todd Gurley. He's regressed quite a bit, but we should still see some decent productivity out of him. Expecting a lot of Etienne after we just re-signed him to a pretty big contract. Justin Fields, of course, on his 5th-year option. On the defense here, not a lot to go into. So we drafted this full safety because I promoted Ashton Davis to be the starting strong safety. Since Marcus May is starting to regress, he's in the final stages of his contract, and Ashton Davis has just been playing tremendously these last few seasons, so we figure I'd give him a shot over here. Here's our rookie middle linebacker. I also have him going in and out of the left outside linebacker position, which he's higher rated. Maybe I start him there? Yeah, let's see what happens. Cool. Other than that, here's Brian Breesy from last year's draft. He ended up being a superstar dev. And everyone on the D-line, they've got a star dev or higher. Stingley still X Factor. So, again, not a lot of major changes. Pretty much the same team as last year and the year before that. So, let's hope for another great season. And right before I sim to the midway point of our 5th season here, I will just say that the Jets went undefeated in preseason. I don't know what that means to you, but let's hope for a great season here. Year 5, Justin Fields, make it or break it. New York Jets. Let's go. Okay, week 9, bye week. Jets are 6-2. 6-2 Jets. First in the division by 3 games. This is looking promising. We like to see it. Justin Fields looking really good right now. 17 touchdowns to only 2 interceptions. Almost passing the 2,000-yard mark again with 8 games under his belt. Justin Fields leads the team in rushing touchdowns. Devontae producing, Crowder producing, everyone, getting in the scruff here. Ashton Davis is leading the team in tackles. And Bryce Hall already has 3 interceptions. 3 interceptions in 8 games. Also, really quickly, I forgot to address this before simming to the midway point. We did, in fact, re-sign Von Miller. It was a successful negotiation. It's just when the new season came around, he decided to retire. So I wish Madden would give us some more foresight of if people are going to retire before we offer them like money and contracts and stuff and rely on them being there. So yes, he retired, and that's why he's not on the roster anymore, and that's why we had to make these makeshift changes. But they look like they're working out. So like I said, we're 6-2. Justin Fields is playing phenomenal. Let's see if he can keep it up, and we'll make our decision of whether we want to re-sign him to a bigger contract. Okay, so it looks like the Jets finished 10-6, and they're in the wild card. And I think this means we won our division if the Bills have the 6 seed and we're in the 4. That's exactly what it means. Okay, not bad. We're in the playoffs. Okay, not what we projected, but this is a pretty good season for Justin Fields. Didn't quite reach 4,000 yards, but he did hit 33 touchdowns, which he came in 8th place in the league with that, in 12 interceptions. Looks like we really shared the ball when it came to running. Justin Fields is tied for most rushing touchdowns, along with Brendan Knox, our power back, and Travis. Receiving-wise, Devontae Adams, great year, past 1,000 yards, 12 touchdowns. Jamison Crowder also with 12 touchdowns. On the defensive side, Ashton Davis led the team with tackles. Right behind him is former first-round pick Deontay Lawson, middle linebacker. Bryce Hall finished the year with just one more interception, but it looks like everyone got a catch. Quinnen Williams had double-digit sacks. He's been pretty consistent the last couple seasons. So not our best season, but it's still a really good one. Let's see if we can break this pattern that we've been in of losing all of our first playoff games. So we'll go in and play the moment against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay, home game at MetLife. First quarter, Pittsburgh scores a touchdown. Let's see if we can hold them here. Maybe. We don't. We're down 14-0 already. Crap, we're down 21-0 already. Red zone alert. Let's take care of this. These Jets uniforms make them look like the Eagles in the snow. Okay, pretty good. Guess Justin Fields only completed 4 passes so far this game. And we'll just run the same thing to score a touchdown. Okay, let's see if the defense can hold him, and they do, and it's a red zone alert. Herndon wide open. Thank you. Okay, down by 1 score now. Hold them. Okay, they get a field goal before the... Oh my god, this is going too fast. Look, 3rd down alert. We're down by a field goal, and now we score a touchdown for the lead. Let's see if the defense can hold them here in the second half. And they do score a field goal, but we still lead by 1. 3rd down alert. Let's see if the offense can capitalize. We're up by 4 now. Need to hold them. They can't score here. Going to go for it on 4th down, and they do in fact score a touchdown. We have a 3rd down alert. We're down by 3. We kick a field goal to tie it. I guess we freaking miss it. Gotta hold them, and they don't hold them. They let them score, and then we give up the ball again. And I don't know what I could have done there, guys. Like, that's ridiculous. I had to go in just to score 2 touchdowns because Madden doesn't want this team to do anything. But how did we give up 40 points in the postseason? And how could they give up 40 with Baker Mayfield only scoring 1 touchdown? Justin Fields only had 1 interception and only 2 real touchdowns in the sim because I had to go in to score the other 2. Baker did not have a good game. He freaking threw it 54 times. It doesn't look like anybody fumbled running the ball. This guy had a pretty insane game for them, though, before he got hurt. Pittsburgh with 2 rushing touchdowns in the first. Another rushing touchdown. Then we threw our touchdown passes, and they had a field goal. 2 passes by Justin Fields, and then they hit a field goal. We did another. I guess just these are all rushing touchdowns. I guess our rush defense was subpar. This freaking sucks. Okay, Super Bowl is Buccaneers Steelers. Again, don't know how to feel about the team we lost to being in the Super Bowl. But let's check out these yearly awards. If those Pittsburgh running backs are not on there for top running back, then I don't know what's up here. MVP, Justin Fields came in 8th. Coach of the Year, Doug Peterson on the Cowboys, I guess. Offensive Player of the Year, Justin Fields came 4th. Defensive Rookie of the Year, we had 2 guys on the list here. Best Quarterback, Justin Fields comes in 5th. Best running back. Oh my God. None of the Pittsburgh guys are on here. Or did they just have one really good game and it happened to be against us in the playoffs? Devontae Adams third, best wide receiver. Mekhi Becton second for O-line, keeps getting snubbed. In a low-scoring game, looks like the Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And here we are. We have to decide whether or not Justin Fields is our franchise quarterback and if we'd like to re-sign him. Let's look at his card. As of right now, he's star dev 93 overall with his +2 morale. Here's a list of his awards within his first 5 seasons, and I guess being drafted in the first round is an award, and he's made 2 Pro Bowl appearances and has won Player of the Week on 2 separate occasions. But that's pretty much it. Here's a look at his collective career stats thus far. Heading into year 6, he will pass 20,000 yards. His touchdown to interception ratio is pretty impressive in my opinion. He's got a rating of 97.3. And look, you want to get into, he's, I think, now 0-3 in the postseason, maybe 0-4. But I think the fact of the matter is this Jets offense has been more explosive than ever before. Now, whether you want to talk about the Jets acquiring Devontae Adams in free agency sometime in the near future being realistic or not, I think you can use that as some symbolism. Who's to say that the Jets won't zero in on improving their offense for the next couple of seasons if they do go the Justin Fields route, finding an X-factor wide receiver either in a draft, or we saw here how many times the Jets had a surplus of picks and nobody to pick up in the draft that they could trade away for a veteran like Devontae. Either way, I think Justin Fields deserves to get a new contract with the Jets after his first 5 years here. This is a team who, hasn't done much, and now all of a sudden they're making the playoffs every year. And his game the last couple seasons has remained consistent. It's hard to find a franchise QB in a league like this, and I think Justin Fields just might be it for the Jets. And with all of that cap room we have, it should not be a problem. Thank you for watching the video. I hope it was a fun watch for you to take maybe a hypothetical sneak peek into what would have happened if the Jets go the Justin Fields route here. I know some of you might be skeptical and saying, the team hadn't started making the playoffs until they picked up Devontae Adams. But again, just use that as, if the Jets do go the Justin Fields route, they'll do whatever they can to surround him with incredible players on the offense, and they will find a way to remain consistent. Our running team hadn't been doing great these last 5 years, and Justin Fields was able to compensate. So there you have it. I don't know what else to say. Thank you so much for watching. Hope it was fun. I'll be doing a lot of other videos like this, experimenting with the different possibilities Jets have at quarterback this coming season. If you have any suggestions of quarterbacks for me to try out, leave a comment, and make sure you check out bestavailableplayer.com for more cool content just like this.